Hey you guys, what's up? My name is Rick the Writer. Okay, before I get started, this is ginger ale. Straight up, just ginger ale. And I've decided the next few videos, you're just gonna see me drinking ginger ale talking to you guys because I have the worst addiction. But anyway, I found this video like just a minute ago on TikTok. I was looking for videos for like artists for, I don't know, it's like the universe just set me up. I was looking for a video that would best depict like an artist struggle that we as artists, we as like people who create things, struggle with, that I could watch and give advice on for you guys. And I found the video. So go ahead, sit back, relax, watch this, then we're gonna come back and talk about it. Okay, go ahead.
This is some of the best advice for all types of artists, especially if you're paralyzed by your perfectionism or just overcomplicating, overthinking. Just listen.
One thing I would suggest is finding a way to make a lot of things and put them out, just to like get a cycle going without even the idea that it's for anybody or that it's going to accomplish anything. But every time you put something out, it makes it that much easier to put something else out.
What do you think? What do you think? Was that amazing? Rick Rubin, that's his name. RR, double with the R, like me, Reed. It's a vibe, it fits. Rick Rubin. Come on now. If you don't know who he is, like I'm about to teach you guys. Drop that intro. All right, before we get started with the video today, I have some announcements, just because you have to do that kind of stuff here. I was talking to one of my friends and she was like, yeah, you need to do the whole YouTuber thing and say like, hey, follow me, like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. So follow me, like, share, subscribe. Also, my book is right here. I don't want to knock it over. Ugh. Okay, anyway, here. Boom. I didn't knock anything over, thank gosh. I'm not editing any of this out. I'm just gonna keep the video going. Cause yeah, it's late o'clock, it's Sunday night. My show, The Last of Us, comes on in like a few minutes. I told my mom I was gonna go downstairs with her so we could watch it. It's like our show right now. It's my show, but it's our show, but it's my show. I just want to see that girl from Game of Thrones. Like, she's so cool. But anyway, here's my book. Boom. Walking on the Moon. It's a poetry book. If you're interested in any of my books, I'm going to have a link down below in the description. You can check out all my books. They're available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple. I am an author, by the way, and I write like self-help kind of poetry books and poems and motivational stuff. So if you see me out here giving advice, it's because that's what I like to do. That's like my vibe. So I'm out here like teaching you guys on a Sunday night when my show is about to come on in like literally 10 minutes. I'm on like borrowed time. But I saw this video and this is super important. So his name, the guy in the video, his name is Rick Rubin. I did a little bit of research. I knew who he was. Like, I'm black. A lot of people be like, what, you are? Yes, I'm black. Don't be fooled by all the cream and the caramel. And I know I have like red hair and I have like light eyes and like I have freckles and whatnot. Like, don't be fooled by all of that. I'm a chocolate woman deep inside all this. And I've always known about Rick Rubin because I've been a fan of Run DMC. Like, that was my dad's like favorite music to play from that group. Adidas, of course, and Russell Simmons. So I always knew about him, but I didn't know too much about his backstory. So I'm gonna read a little bit about him for you guys to know. Rick Rubin, he's a founder of Def Jam, and I'm reading my notes over here. He's the founder of Def Jam's Records with Russell Simmons. So Russell Simmons basically started this like label back in the day. Rick Rubin jumped on Def Jam's with Russell Simmons, and together they like signed like amazing acts like LL Cool J, and there's a lot. There's like a really big list of people, but LL Cool J, like everybody knows him. Even like millennials, I'm like a younger millennial, but millennials and Gen Z, we all have to at least know who LL Cool J is, but if you don't, it's a struggle out here for you guys. This guy is pretty much well-renowned. He's a master of his craft. He's a master of his trade. For me, when I like to find videos, I like to find videos that like will help you guys. If I do come across a video with someone who has mastered their trade, someone who is well known, who lives his life by example, like he's not just gonna tell you to go do something, he's actually done it. Rick Rubin is that guy. Like, he's worked with Jay-Z. Like, Jay-Z, for real. Like, this guy is huge. He's a producer as well. I'll read you guys a little bit about him. Then we're going to discuss this video. Rick Rubin grew up listening to heavy metal, and this article is from Britannica. Rick Rubin grew up listening to heavy metal, early punk, and he frequently took the train into Manhattan from his Long Island home to see New York pioneers at the Ramones. While a student at New York University, he became interested in rap and immersed himself in the local scene. In 1983, he produced his first single, It's Yours, by T. La Rock and Jazzy J. Let's take a pause there. Jazzy J. Gen Z, I don't even know if you guys even know who Jazzy J is. Let me just continue, because it's just, let me continue. Its success as dance track in local nightclubs inspired him to create his own label, Def Jam Records. After hearing It's Yours, Russell Simmons, who was already a rising star in the hip-hop scene, joined Rubin at Def Jam. The two based in Rubin's dormitory room. Let's do a pause right there. Here we are in the early 80s. Hip hop and R&B and like this new sound wave was like really stemming out of like New York, especially with rap coming out. And here you have this like white guy, Rick Rubin, finding this niche in the market, this sound, and feeling so inspired by it that while he's in college, like it says it right here, while he was in his dormitory, he decides to start a record label called Def Jams. How crazy is that? So he starts his label, he gets on like Russell Simmons, and they immediately start like recruiting talents. In 1984, they had their first hit with LL Cool J's I Need a Beat, a single that sold 100,000 copies. Rubin had created Def Jam to fill a niche that the mainstream recording industry had ignored, but major labels took notice when its sales topped 300 albums in 1985. Columbia Records placed Rubin and Simmons under contract, and Def Jam's roster expanded, included the BC Boys, Public Enemy, and Run DMC, a group that included Simmons' brother Joseph. So that's all you need to know about Rubin. Like I said, I have the article, I'll put the link down below, by Britannica, so you guys can actually just read it. And I recommend it. The article is phenomenally written. It gives a whole bunch of hindsight into who Rubin is. There's a lot to learn from Rubin. He is the prime example of having a idea. Like it's so cool when you're in the middle of your life, because I always feel like ideas happen like that. You're in the middle of doing whatever you're doing, you're in a set schedule, your life feels very mundane. Then all of a sudden, boom, something clicks. You think of something, and this idea is like not like any idea you've ever had. It holds weight, it holds value, and you can't really wrestle away from it. Most people do. They'll fight the idea, they'll fight the dream, they'll fight the vision, and they'll continue on their life. They'll always bring it up to somebody. Have you ever met somebody who'd be like, yeah, I had this crazy idea about combining hot dogs and hamburgers and could have turned into a small shack, and I just never did. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, I work with older people, and old people are notorious, especially older people who never fulfilled their dreams. They are notorious about talking about all the things they wish they did. And they talk about it so much that you feel so bad for these people, because it's like, this is what regret looks like. Simply like, this is what regret looks like when you're like 72 and you don't go after your dreams. You sitting here talking to, like, I'm in my 20s, like talking to a 20-year-old working like an okay job about this big idea that you had that you never went after, and you're talking about someone who at the same time hears the idea, thinks it's a good idea, but looks at you and goes, wow, you wasted so much of your life not going after it, and are you too old to even go after it now? Like, that's horrible. That's not Rick Rubin. He had this idea. He saw the niche in the mainstream market because there wasn't any like rap music coming out during that time, like especially during the early 80s. Like nowadays in the 20s, when we hear rap, we go, that's like normal. Rap is actually more popular than pop music. That might be hard to believe, but rap is overpowering like mainstream. It's so popular, but back in the day, it just wasn't. Rap was not that big, but Rick Rubin saw that niche. He took a gamble on himself. He started this label while he was in college. Like, I saw a picture of it. Maybe I'll put it over here. His like dorm was basically filled with like CDs, or I think they're called albums back in the day, like the giant huge ones, you know, like with the disc, the huge giant like, you know, records. He was in his dormitory making music, producing, looking for talent while he was in college. Like, you're never too young to go after your dreams. Like, I don't care what anyone says to you. I had this lady when I was in college, and this is just like a little backstory on me. I had this lady when I was in college. Here I was, I started college a little bit late, but I was like 24, 25. I remember telling my professor, like, yeah, you know, because my professor was asking everyone in the class what we wanted to do. On a whim, I was like, maybe I should tell her like my idea. And I told her, yeah, I wanted to start my own like book publishing like business. I just wanted to like publish children's books and fiction books and poetry books. Just saying it out loud. And people next to me were going, yeah, that sounds like Rye. Like, that sounds pretty cool. Like, she chill. Like, she cool. I was cool in my school. Like, I was pretty cool. My professor, the first thing her old behind said was, you might want to wait about 10, 15 years when you're a little bit older, and you do an internship at a publication, and maybe if you're a literary agent for another 10, 15 years, and maybe in your 50s you can start your own publication or do that, and you get, and I'm like, man, I'm too young. Like, I'm not waiting 30 years to go do this. Like, I need to do this now. Let me figure this out today. He did not do that. He started when he was young. He had the idea. Fast forward now, this guy, he's the co-founder of Def Jams. Like, do you guys even understand who's on like Def Jams? Like Jay-Z. We're talking about Kanye West, Chris Brown, Rihanna. He's like the godfather of all this music, of everybody who came out of him. It's astronomical. One thing, there's a couple things in that video that really stood out to me that I really want to stress, especially to my younger audience. Because I wish someone said this to me when I was young, because I feel like I would have been so much further ahead if I did not get in my way. One thing he said was, make a lot of things and put it out. Let me get closer to you so you can actually like feel what I'm saying. It's so late at night. But I want to be close to you. I really do. I want to be close to you. Make, create, upload. That's it. Make, create, upload. Stop making stuff, looking at it, comparing it to someone else who's like 10 times ahead of you. Like, stop going on Instagram and looking at people in your industry who have like 30 million followers, whose business is on the run, out there in the streets. They have celebrities around them. This person's already famous. Stop comparing you to them. You guys are completely different people. You're on your own path, your own journey, and you can't put yourself in their shoes because y'all don't wear the same shoes. It does not fit. It doesn't match. That's not your shoes. That's their shoes. Your shoes are the ones that you're wearing right now. You have to be okay with what you're creating because this is where you're at. Let me give you guys like a little bit like a backstory about me, just like a little bit, just so we can relate a little. My first book I wrote was called Beast the Lands. If you want to read it, I'm not gonna put the link in the bio, but it's on Wattpad. It's so bad. You can look at my name, Rye Reed. The book is so garbage. I put that book out when I was probably like 21, 22, like super young. Need some ginger ale, I need the energy. Yeah, I put that book out when I was 21, 22. And I was the worst writer on the planet. I had no writing experience. I was so bad. I knew I was bad. That's like the worst part when you want to do something and you know you're garbage at it. I just was. I didn't understand how to put a sentence together. I didn't understand story planning and arcs and how to build up momentum and story. I just had this idea and this vision about this, creating this book and these characters. And I put this book together, which I'm super proud about. But when I look back at it, I didn't know what I was doing. But I put it out. It was, be it closer to you, it was garbage. Garbage. Like, what's his name? Oscar from Sesame Street. Garbage. Pure chef's kiss. Garbage. But I put it out there. And I got 0 sales from it. No one bought the book. But I'm so proud of myself for just putting it out because it just needed to go out. Same thing for you. The first couple things you're going to create are going to be garbage. I gotta say it like that. Garbage. Absolutely garbage. But you gotta put it out there. Because you're not going to become a better artist until you start painting. You know what I mean? You're not going to get good at this thing until you put your brush on the canvas and you start painting. And whatever you make, you can make it again, you can make it better. And that's the good thing about creating. Your first thing you make is going to be garbage. The second thing is going to be a little less garbagey. It's not going to work garbagey, but you know what I mean. Then the next thing after that, and you stick with it. Then year 1 comes around. Year 2, year 3, and slowly you start finding yourself, and you start finding your colors, and you start being able to tell the stories you want. Your vocabulary expands. Your detail, your eye for detail gets better. You're able to better spell check, and but that's only going to happen with after you create more. You have to keep creating. You have to keep putting yourself out there, and it's going to be hard in the beginning because people are going to judge you for that. But what have they done? Really, truly, people are so quick to be like, "I don't like that song," or "I don't like that close." What have you made? Do you even know how to put the software together? Do you even know what GarageBand is? Do you even know how to go on like Microsoft Word and format your book for like book formatting? Do you even know what 6x9 is? I do. Let me chill. I gotta chill. I gotta be good. Let me take a sip of my ginger ale. I'm not editing this either. Forget it. But yeah, just put it out there. Get better. Sharpen your skills. He also said it's a cycle. It is a cycle. It's like a loop. It's like the beginning of the loop is garbage. The further you get into it, the better and sharper you get. Halfway in there, you're dying. But slowly but surely, you start seeing the fruits of your labor. And it's like a full circle once you come back. And you get to look at yourself and go, wow, I became a better writer. I became a better musician. I became a better artist. But because I started, I put myself out there. I showed people what I was doing. I was able to get to that position. But I just felt like in my spirit, someone out there who was me. I was thinking about the younger 22-year-old Rye who was sitting somewhere trying to put this book out, wishing that I had someone like me. Like, you guys have me now. Like, we're in this together. Y'all can watch me and I can talk to y'all. But you guys have me to tell you, put that thing out there. Get it off your computer. Get it off. Stop. Stop doing that. Stop saving stuff and putting things in trash. And your phone is littered with videos that you want to put on TikTok. Just put it on TikTok. See what happens. If you get 3 views, 3 human beings got to see what you made. That's pretty amazing. And if those 3 human beings are crazy enough, just enough, they'll buy or download or stream whatever it is you made, if like the vibe is right. But the vibe gotta be right. That's a whole different video. Hopefully that motivated you guys. You'll stop saving things and you'll just start pushing the upload button. Just push it, put it out there, even if it's late o'clock, and put out the video like I'm about to do with this video. Put it on YouTube and see what happens. Drink your ginger ale with your ice and your glass cup and just be in the vibe and go about your day, right? If you liked this video, which I'm sure you did, because I feel like y'all just stuck through the whole entire time. Like, share, subscribe. My friend gonna keep telling me that, but like, share, subscribe, follow this video. We went up a subscriber, I think like yesterday or today. So hey, hey, we are growing. I'm happy about that. And also, if you're interested in my books, they're available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple. I have 5 poetry books out now. The next poetry book will be released hopefully in February. And I'll announce it here. Maybe I'll make more videos so we can talk about books and authoring. And I can continue motivating you guys. Other than that, have a really great night. Stay safe. Get a glass for me. This is not alcohol. Keeping this channel clean for the kids. All right, good night.